Right, welcome along to another MX5 story. What's going on in the workshop? Roy's doing lots of welding repairs. Some welding repairs going to start, update on the turbo one, and some mechanical bits and pieces on the Silver Mark one. And we've got this V-Spec to go through as well. Cool, okay, let's go and see what Roy's been up to. Morning, Roy.
Morning.
How's it going?
Yeah, busy. Very busy.
So Roy has been doing a sill repair, a small one. So I think when I was on holiday, the other side was all run through, wasn't it?
Other side's all complete now.
So I didn't sort of get to see what the other side was like compared to this. So has it been the same, or have you come across anything that was
this
more...
side's actually been a bit worse. We've had to, on the front end, we have had to cut out, it had a really bad repair on the front jacking point beforehand, so we've cut the whole thing out, and I've made this panel here and welded that back in. You
might have to get in to see this way. Roy was pretty pleased with this panel yesterday. He had a big grin on his face and came to show me when he made this, and it was a nice panel actually he'd made. Yeah,
so obviously it runs from up here, comes all the way around here, and is obviously spot welded to the lip like it was originally.
This is quite a common area for I wouldn't say common, but it's quite often you'll get some rust issues around here. And sort of in this area here, due to
it's the dirt that gets trapped
maybe the dirt trapped under seal maybe hasn't been applied as thoroughly, some corrosion, but yeah, sort of it can just sort of be in these areas here. So another area to check on your MX5s.
Yeah, so after obviously that was put in, had to actually, it had a previous repair again, same as the other side had, where someone cut a section of the outer seal off and welded a plate in, but it ended up being welded to this part as well. So that was a pain to get off. And once I've got that off, I then had to cut this section out. Although it was a good piece of metal, I had to cut it out to rebuild this section from there onwards.
Yeah, because you obviously can't.
Obviously, you can't.
This is in the way, so you can just see where Roy's cut that, and then it's all been welded back in.
And it's just continued from there, basically. So we're doing the floor sections. Then we replace, so we're welding from here to here with an L-shaped plate, and then we're replacing that section there because this bit is all rusted out along here. So this bit I've literally just put in, literally just finished doing the spot welds as we started filming. So this will all be ground back, treated, and then it was the same again at this end. Although this section was solid, I've had to cut this out to get behind here to clean everything up and then rebuild it, and then I've obviously got to weld that section back in. Once that's back in, the sill can
start rebuilding it all back up.
As you can see, it's a vast hole.
I'd say you've sort of just gone past that point of the sort of the most technical sort of bit of this sill repair, which is obviously making sure that this is all sort of lining up right, and everything else all starts to go back together like a bit of a jigsaw puzzle now. It
does, yeah. There's a couple of extra little bits on this side. Obviously the seal end plate only comes up to about here. About here. I've got to put an extra plate in here and an extra plate in here because this is all corroded and rusted away.
Yeah, because obviously your inner arch lip here would normally come down and there's nothing there.
Yeah, so it's seal end plate.
It's having the whole shebang.
It is, and then weld the seal in, and then it's box section, and then outer panel. Since last time you saw the other side, I have actually done the inner arch on the other side now. So I don't know if Gareth wants to see that or not.
Let's have a quick look.
So in the previous video, it was literally, this was all just still rusty. I didn't bother patching it, I cut it out from about here all the way around and replaced it with a new section, and I just need to trim it down now so it doesn't overhang the outer panel.
Yeah, because this obviously it's about to that line there, isn't it?
Yeah.
sort of all the way across.
Yeah, so just trim it down and taper it off into this one here. And then this one's just ready for the outer panel to go on now.
Yeah, so, have this done at lunchtime, haven't you?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's
cool.
A never-ending mission, this one.
Alright, is there anything else we're doing on this one?
I think we're doing a full underseal cavity wax on it when it's done. It has previously been undersealed, but the customer obviously wants all the subframes and everything done, and obviously whatever we've welded obviously needs to be protected and cavity waxed.
Get the Monty out on that, won't we?
Oh yes.
Good old Monty. Okay, cheers boy.
All right.
Morning Ash.
Morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm alright.
Good.
Need more coffee, but...
Coffee? Right, what have you been up to? Tell us what this one's about.
This one's come in for chassis rail, sills and arches. I've literally just started, I've just got it on the ramp and just started to have a look at what we've got. This side I've had a poke in the end plate, so there's a nice sort of hole there. Someone's actually covered it all up with sealant before. It's like a nice big lump of that there. There was actually already holes there, and someone's just covered it up with some sealant. So the other side I've started to cut out.
This is quite a... If it's rusty down here on a Mark II, it normally means bad things. They're generally, if there's rust here, it's normally inners and everything. Sometimes a Mark I can rust here and it's maybe not as bad, but if there's rust here on a Mark II or 2.5, it generally means that things are normally quite bad everywhere else. You've already got your hammer in there, haven't you? Alright, let's go and have a look at the other side then.
Right, so this side, looking at it, it's had a whole rear quarter changed at some point.
How have you established that?
Well, all the spot welds are missing sort of all the way round. If looking at all the seam lines like here and up in the
this texture here is different, isn't it?
Yeah, up in the boot shut as well. There's you can tell it's different. The spot weld.
So it's probably an accident earlier on in life for some form of tap.
There's signs of a lot of filler in this door as well.
You're just grabbing a look at the other side. Yes, this is sort of factory. You can see spot welds. The sealer is sort of, you know, it's a lot thinner and evenly spread. You can see around here it's all the same, isn't it? So that's a little bit of a giveaway that something has been replaced there. Which, you know, it's for okay to have a rear quarter, but it's all the prep work that's done behind a panel when something like this is put in. And I don't know, we were sort of thinking how long ago this was done, really, didn't we? Because when you, so you've cut it, haven't you? But you haven't cleaned anything up behind here yet, have you?
No, I haven't done anything behind there.
So if you come in and have a look, so we haven't cleaned anything up yet. So it's quite, there's exposed metal there. So whenever it was cleaned up to put this on, there was obviously no time to put any protection on, any primer, and that's unfortunately probably why this has started rusting again so much.
Yeah.
You know, you put in. I mean, this is always going to rust no matter what you do, but it's just what you do to put on to prevent and slow that process down. And if you are just putting bare metal to bare metal, the process is going to start instantaneous, really. So, are you going to pull this off then for us?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't spot welded very well. There's
any rivets this time?
I don't think there's any rivets this time, but
No?
it's just very poor spot welds. Like the whole back, the inner seal here is completely missing, so it's not attached there. There's a bad spot weld here, and all along the bottom, it just sort of starts a bit of pressure and it's just popped off.
Oh, it looks like there was maybe a bit of contact on that bit there.
Yeah, there's one that held it there, and then one that held it here, and then another one that's held it here, but the rest of it just fell off as soon as I sort of run the grinder along it. So.
All right, give it a pull.
Not nice and easy.
Pop goes the weasel.
Wish they're all that easy.
Here we go. I'm not too sure whether that was probably cleaned up anyway before that was put on. Maybe it could have been, but So yeah.
So that's being in there, isn't it?
Yep. It's all just rotten away here. Crusty. I think there was probably rust on the inside of this when that was put on.
Yeah.
The thing is, that could have been there. This could have been on for a while, and obviously it takes a while to come up because this is the point of where there's least amount of moisture. But I mean, there's some evidence of something that's been put on there.
Cleaned up metal there.
Yeah.
It's been left.
Yeah. Well, that's
They cleaned it up and then
just
coated on it.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was sort of saying, because this whole process is just it probably wouldn't have got this bad, but it was going to rust. But it's just yeah, you're right. It's probably just no, and that's the difference of doing something like that or not. So
inside of the new panel.
Again, it's just got the.
Well,
It's just got the original coating on that they would have put on there to stop it sort of getting surface rust on the shelf. It's not.
Like what we do here is even with front wings, front wings come with this black coating on, and whenever we paint a wing, we always paint the inside as well, because this coating isn't enough. The panel will rust with this coating on, just on the edges where it hasn't been applied properly. So any new panel you get that's got black, you should always paint with a primer, or at least put some form of extra application on top to prevent it from rusting. It all helps, doesn't it?
Next.
Okay. Right. Cheers, Ash. Okay. Update on the turbo one. So we've done the customer of this. I think we just did a video on this. Has that been released yet? Yeah. So we did a sort of what are we going to call it? It was just info on the car, basically a little bit of a background, and we've carried out the works now. The customer's going to go on a rally, so we've basically gone over and checked over the car. We've done some mechanical works. It's had new pads, new discs, front and back, oil change. I think we've done a few other bits and pieces anyway. So what I was doing yesterday was fitting the customer's rally meter. I'd like to be able to say what rally it was, but he's going to come in later on today and pick it up. So obviously this device here is for his to obviously calculate the mileage that he's doing, and this is driven from the speedo drive from the gearbox. This comes straight into the car. The instructions said it has to be powered at all times to be able to switch it on. I'm guessing that's for the way that the organisers want to be able to sort of come in and use this. So it's obviously switched off here, and this calibration here must be to however they're going to determine when he goes to the rally. There'll be some form of test that they'll have to drive a mile, and they'll see what this reads and then probably recalibrate it so it when it does a mile it is reading a mile. Not too sure how a few other bits work, but this is going to be held in place with a suction mount here that the customer's going to be bringing in for it. So that's that. But yeah, I don't know how many miles he's doing, but sounds like fun, doesn't it? Okay, so that's pretty much that. I'm going to give this a road test in a minute. One other few things to adjust on it, but other than that, it's all pretty much done. Okay, all right, Jim. How's it going? Do you want to run through what it is that you've been up to on this one?
General maintenance, MOT repairs, brake lines, 2 new front calipers.
So it's had quite a lot. I think from what Gareth spoke to me about with this car, I think the customer's looking at also having a possible full respray and giving it a go. So he's basically mechanically wants the whole car looked at and just refreshed. So when I say that, we've done gearbox oil change, diff oil change, it's gone for the MOT, some brake lines have failed. Jim has redone pretty much most of them, haven't you? Yeah. They've all been redone, 2 new front calipers. So yeah, a complete sort of going over of the mechanical side of the car, and I think then the customer is going to be looking at probably spending some money on a full respray to bring it up to tip-top condition. But making sure first, before he pumps all the money into the paint side of things, making sure there's no hidden issues with the mechanical sides. I think rust-wise this car's pretty clean, isn't it? So yeah, it's a good way of doing it really, getting the mechanical side of it done first to make sure, because with all cars there's always unforeseen things with the MX5s. especially on early ones, especially if it's a 1.6 short nose crank. You can have pulley wobble, and if you're thinking of pumping money into a car and you've got an engine that needs to be changed, it's another expense that you may not be foreseen about. Plus, you don't really want to go ahead and get the car resprayed and then have to worry about pulling an engine out, which I think we had to do once on the car, didn't we? Yeah. Unfortunately for a customer. All right, cheers, Jim. Okay, let's have a look at our V-Spec. So this came in, I might have to ping pong backwards and forwards with Gareth on this because we have spoken about it. So this came to us a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Yeah. While I was away on holiday, and it's a 1.6 V-Spec automatic, really clean though. The mileage on it is... Yeah, kilometers. It's 60,000 kilometers.
Miles.
Sorry, yeah, miles. But as you can see, it's generally just a very clean car. Now we've done some bits and pieces on it. So what did we do on this precisely?
Polish, MOT,
polish,
general check over. We're going to be doing an under seal.
Yep.
The car is actually sold now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's doing an under seal for the customer. Yeah, all in filter change, and we just generally went over the car, made sure anything it needed doing was done.
Yeah, so we didn't really do much to it, but we gave it a bit of a spruce up. But we advertised it, didn't we? And very, very quickly it was snapped up.
Yeah, inundated with inquiries.
Yep.
And yeah, it sold about 3 days after it was advertised. So.
Yeah. So, you know, lots of people turn around and shy away from automatics and stuff, but when they're low mileage and a clean car, you know, they're worth getting.
Well, the seals and everything on this car are original and they're not rusty as well.
Yep. You want me to take that for you?
Yeah. Just,
so you can see all the spot welds.
Yeah. So, you know, we sort of always say about this, looking for the original spot weld, so they're all there. So these seals and arches are completely original. We've had the car up in the air, checked it all underneath. There's no rusty shoes underneath. So yeah, really, really nice, clean, rust-free, fairly original car.
Yeah, the guy that's bought this, he's going to be looking forward to taking it out, taking it to some shows, and just
came all the way from Devon.
Yeah, came all the way from Devon.
We did actually have interest from someone in Luxembourg as well.
But I think import issues to do with imported or UK specs, I think possibly. Yeah. So that's the cars that we have for sale. We like to have cars that are good, clean MX5s. We have done the work on it ourselves, and you know, refreshed the MX5. But generally, we like to have cars like this. You know, ones that just look good, in good condition, and just look right. All right. Well, I think that's the end of the video. A long one today. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and yeah, we're enjoying doing the videos, and keep giving us the comments. We're enjoying them. See you next time when I'm not so stuttery and mixing my words up. Bye bye.